Hey guys, Callum here, and today's video and this week's theme is all about protein and the power and the importance of protein when you are starting and embarking on your fitness and body transformation journey. Over the next few weeks, it's really important that we take on board this information and aim to increase your protein intake on a daily and weekly basis. The reason why protein is so important is because firstly, it is the building block for all recovery. So when we are training, we are essentially damaging our muscle fibers. Imagine these are our muscle fibers, we are tearing them slightly, so small micro tears. So if we're not getting adequate protein post-workout, it means that we're not recovering sufficiently, which means you're going to be tired, which means you're going to be fatigued, your muscles are going to ache, and you're not going to build and tone up like you want to. The second reason why we want to increase our daily protein intake is because it's the most satiating macronutrient. What does that mean? That essentially means that protein keeps us fuller for longer compared to any other foods. So it's really important when we're trying to transform your body, when we're trying to save calories, when we're trying to reduce the amount of hunger that we're experiencing, that we are trying to increase our protein intake, okay? So we want to ideally have 3 meals per day, and we want to be aiming for 20 grams across each meal. Okay, so ideally 3 meals a day and at least 20 grams per meal. You might be thinking, what is protein? So firstly, protein is typically, the easy way to think about it, is something that comes from a meat source. So think kind of flesh in terms of meat, fish. Anything that comes from an animal is typically high protein. And then we also have our vegetarian-based protein sources like Greek yogurt, corn, eggs, all of these things, okay? So these are going to be high protein. We want to be including these as much as possible in our diet. And a simple kind of rule of thumb to use is to try and have 2 to 4 meals per day, meals and snacks, around a palm-sized portion. And a palm-sized portion would be something like a tin of tuna, or 3 eggs, or a protein shake, or a chicken breast, or a big bowl of Greek yogurt around this kind of size. It's got Greek yogurt in this because I had this earlier. So that's what we want to be doing at least 3 times a day, okay? Because as I said, this is really going to firstly help with your recovery, secondly help with your muscle toning, and then finally support you with your fat loss journey if you're on a fat loss journey. Because as I said earlier, it keeps you fuller for longer. And one of the keys to fat loss is to basically control hunger. And protein's really going to help you with that, okay? So just to confirm, firstly, protein is usually from meat-based products. If you are vegetarian, it can be found in things like corn, milk, yogurt, protein powders, and things like that. Later on this week, I'm going to be giving you a full video with lots of different protein sources where I'll be going over examples. But the goal for you this week is to try and include protein in your meals for at least 2 or 3 of those, okay? And we want to aim for a palm-sized portion because that's really going to help you with your journey over the next few weeks. Stay tuned for another video this week where I'm going to be sharing exactly the protein sources which are going to really help you on your journey. If you have any questions on this, as always, post a message in the WhatsApp group or post a message in my coach, and me and the other coaches will be happy to help. Callum out. Let's get the power of protein inside us.